Shalom and welcome to this week's edition of the Rabbi's Ramblings. Hope you had a fantastic week. In this week's Parsha, the portion of Va'era, we learned a lesson on gratitude. You see, we have the first 7 of the 10 plagues that Hashem, God Almighty, brings upon the Egyptians for their refusal to allow the Jewish people to go free and leave the land of Egypt. Now, typically, it was Moses, who brought these plagues upon the Egyptians. But we do find that when it comes to the first 3 plagues of blood, frogs, and lice, that Aaron is the one that brings it upon the Egyptians. And this begs the question of why. So when we look at the source of the plagues, we see that the first 2, blood and frogs, come from the Nile. And in fact, they took the godly staff and struck the Nile in order to begin the plague. The third one, lice, came forth from the earth, from the sand. And in fact, the way the plague began was that they took the godly staff and struck the sand. Being that this was the case, Moshe was prohibited from Hashem by striking the Nile, the water, and the sand. Why? Well, Rashi explains. He says, you see, many years ago, Moshe was helped by these. The water saved him. As an infant, there was a decree in the land of Egypt, all Jewish baby boys should be thrown into the Nile and drowned. Moshe's parents wanted to save him, so they put him into a basket and sent him down the river. And that's the way he survived. The sand, a number of years later, Moshe has grown up. He comes out of the palace to see how the Jewish people are doing, and he finds an Egyptian guard striking a Jewish slave. So he kills the Egyptian guard. Now what does he do? In order to protect himself, he buries the body of the Egyptian guard in the sand. So Hashem tells him, being that the water saved you, as well as the sand saved you, in order to express your gratitude, I prohibit you from striking them, and your brother Aaron shall do it. Now, water and sand are inanimate objects, but yet we see that Hashem demands from Moshe that he should express his gratitude towards them for what they did to him, for him many years before. How much different would our lives look if we truly expressed our gratitude and appreciated everything that was done for us by the inanimate objects in our lives, but how much more so by the people in our lives? Remember, you matter, so make a difference. Shabbat Shalom.